you will develop new skills. You will develop new abilities. You will get new knowledge. You will build your business networks, and it will help you in future. Today, we, HUAWEI, and HUAWEI Student Developer Group in Sweden offer you to challenge yourself. And this event is a great milestone for all of us, because this is the first physical event organized together with students in Nordic region. I can say that at the time, 1 year ago, we had no HUAWEI student developer ambassadors and groups in Nordic region at all. But at the moment, we have a lot. And this HUAWEI developer group community in Nordic region is growing and growing really fast. I'm really proud of the fact that HUAWEI student developer group in Sweden not just exists, but it is very active. And this event is the initiative of HUAWEI Student Developer Group Sweden. They came to us and they offered this idea. They introduced the plan, and they passed this way from the idea to execution. We just helped them. And we are really happy about such productive and efficient our collaboration with HSD community in Sweden. Now I know that all of you would like to know finally what is the topic of the challenge for this weekend, for this hackathon. I put these pictures into this slide, and probably from these pictures you can come up with the idea what this challenge is about. But I don't want to tease you more, so we decided to call it Work from Anywhere. This picture, actually, this fish I caught by myself last year, because it's like next to this place where I live in Finland, and I did it with my kids. You know that COVID changed our life completely. During the last 2 years, we learned how to use all these mobile services like Zoom, Meetup, to attend online events. So maybe before you didn't know how to do this. Now I'm pretty sure all of you are pretty fluent in this. And you can be anywhere at the moment. You can be with your friends, with your family. You can maybe have some beach holidays, but at the same time, you will be present at work and you will deliver the result to the company you work for. But I strongly believe that there are a lot of hidden opportunities how to improve our remote life, remote work through mobile services, through mobile technologies. And this is your challenge today. You are the generation who is already building the future technologies, the future business. And we are looking for fresh ideas from you. So how you can come up with these interesting ideas, how to improve our digital life and digital work. So the topic is work from anywhere. Let's talk a bit about the plan. This event will last for 48 hours. So it's already started when I went to the stage. And at that time, on Sunday, you will present your projects. And you have only 2 days to think about what you can do. You need to build your team. And I'm pretty sure that all of you already did it. So it's done. But my recommendation, it's not enough just to have a team. It's important to act as a team and to listen to each other. Also, it will be a challenge for everybody of you. The key requirements to these projects will be introduced by Mingru Iliu, the HSD ambassador in Sweden. He prepared a very detailed presentation. So what exactly to be done? So I would like to mention that, the key requirement from HUAWEI is that from the technology, that you should use Huawei Mobile Services, HMS, in your project. And we selected 3 recommended SDKs. We don't limit you, but this is like what we really would like to see in your projects. Huawei Health Kit, HMS Awareness, HMS Drive Kit. Besides that, we will be here with you for these 2 days. I invited our colleagues and experts to support you here on site. Mustafa Mohsin traveled from Poland to meet you today during this weekend. And also I invited Anil from Norway. Yeah, so he will be here with you. Besides that, there are 2 colleagues who are based in Finland. Unfortunately, they couldn't come. HUAWEI and Anwo. So they are available in Discord channel. If you didn't join Discord channel yet, please join it. Yeah. And also we created staff projects for you.
Because we have a support channel there, you could ask questions. If you are, for example, not aware of nearby you, so there's people going to support you. You could have also chat between you, could do activities. Yeah, it's free channels.
We created 3 staff projects in GitHub, so you can use them to start development quicker. Also, we brought with us Huawei devices, mobile devices, so we will give it to you for development. I can say that I would like to give the stage now to Jan Juland. He is the head of the business development team in Sweden at Huawei. But before I do this, I would like to encourage you to take this chance and to take this challenge seriously, because maybe one day this project will turn into your business, maybe the project of your life. Who knows? I wish you good luck.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you all, and thank you for spending today and the rest of the weekend here. It will rain outside anyway, so we should enjoy it together here in the office. You are at the HUAWEI Nordic office. We are about, 150 people working here, approximately. We are doing sales of some cells. We do enterprise business, we do consumer device sales. And the reason why you're here is the app gallery, the cloud business that we are working with. I'm leading the Echo work, the application work in Sweden, the cloud business, trying to get partners into our Echo universe to monetize together with the partners. One of the partners we are working with is, for example, Bank ID, which I guess you know, it's kind of important application. Swish, IKEA, H&M, and all other important partners. And during the weekend, you will be able to explore App Gallery by yourself in the fantastic devices that we are going to provide you with. So explore it, and you will find more applications that probably you cannot live without. Kira, for example, where did you go? There. Say one application that you cannot live without that we have in App Gallery. WhatsApp, for example. Or in Sweden, Bank ID. You cannot actually do any business with that. You do have Bank ID. Tinder, really good. Yeah, I haven't dared to create an account yet on Merit. Yeah. Anyway, nice to have you here. I'm pretty convinced that we will have a lot of good projects. I think all of your projects would be world top class projects. I'm a part of the jury. I can easily be bribed, just so you know. No, I'm kidding, I'm not. But I think we will have difficulties to select a winner on Sunday. But I really appreciate that you're here. Really nice to see you all. And I wish you good luck. And since I'm a Star Wars fan, may the Force be with you.
Hey guys, now most of you who's waiting maybe also to know more about the App Gallery, right? Because now we'll just introduce this for you. So I am Mustafa Mohsin. Today I'm going to introduce for you what is going to be about what's the App Gallery, because maybe some of you doesn't know what's it, or maybe you already work with it. Even so, also we're going to explain about Huawei mobile services, and then I will going to explain also about wearable development. I will try to explain for you from the side that, for example, I know anyone of you doesn't know anything about this field. He will know something today, so you will get some idea about it. Maybe even you change your way. And also at the same time, for the developer of you, also try to explain it for them, so also they will get familiar with it. For you, just to briefly, I would like first just to switch to my presentation. So just give me 1 minute. And during that, I would like just to ask you if any one of you has any like an experience or any maybe job or any working or any like opportunity to have like development with mobile services in general, like not only Huawei. So if you have any one of you can just raise a hand. So we need to see how the cooperation will be with you guys. So anyone for you just developing applications on wearable and website on anything like coding in general, business? Okay, we have one here. This is good.
Team up with that guy.
Yeah, but don't worry, guys, because for me, I'm also a student, but I'm a PhD student. I am totally different. I'm working on 6G, 5G side. But when I joined Huawei, just to learn about App Gallery, it was really, I got it only maybe 3 months. I learned everything. It was really because this platform, when we tried to build it, we tried to think that, okay, it's a new platform here to be in Europe. So we don't want to make it more complicated for the developer, especially because imagine that someone working for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years on Android, on many system, and we just come to him, welcome with us, learn something new. So it will be difficult to him, right? So what we have done, to make it more easier, even for the people who's like never touched this field before. So I will try today to explain about App Gallery, to give you some also facts, how it's working, how is it really, and why App Gallery here, what's important in it. Just give me to say this one. I need the pointer. And guys, let's be more collaborating. So if anyone have questions, I will have section for these questions. If anyone would like to trust me to ask something, just feel free, okay? So we'll just like, because we will be together here for 44 hours. So we'll be having like, a lot of fun together. So let's be like, just break this glass between us, and we will like cooperating like, as we know each other for a long time.
And then we have barbecue next weekend.
This will be great.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I hope that will be here. Okay, so enough talking about myself. So first of all, from your side, as for example, even the people that never know about App Gallery, they ask this question: why I have to be interested in App Gallery? Why I have to go to App Gallery? Even for the business side, now many people, when we talk with them, we try to introduce our system. We have to give them like some powerful things that they can be interesting to our App Gallery. Okay, basically, App Gallery is a store for applications. See here, I don't say that is mobile applications because it covers all the applications. For example, App Gallery it's working in China for over 7 years to 10 years, but it has been introduced to the market in Europe in 2019. So when it has been introduced, we introduced only for the mobile and then for wearables. But in the future, we'll have more application. I'm talking application, for example, for the Internet of Things application. Maybe will be also a wearable, the car application, smart application, and so on. So for now, App Gallery can provide you as a store for your application for wearable and mobile devices. So basically, it's just like the same. For example, when you go to the Google marketing, or you go to iOS, or you go to anywhere marketing, they have their own app store. And how we have something called App Gallery. So it just basically is a place when you release your application to your consumers, when you will have application. So you see here from the numbers, this is the powerfuls of the App Gallery. You see that there is like we have a lot of people. We have the developer community for you also. Maybe when you join, you'll be counting also with them. I have 4. I have that this side also people that can see the screen. We have over 5 million people that the actions of the developer community. We have the monthly active user. We have over right now I think we are going also further. We have more than 580 million monthly active users, and of course we are covering 170 countries. Besides that, we have grown a lot of applications. You see the number of the application has been already integrated with HMS, which means that with this application already using HUAWEI services, not only Hack application of Gallery. So we have also 187,000 application. Also, this is growing more. So this is the good things also to know about App Gallery, that App Gallery can, for the developers, for you, or even like, we try to join. As I told you, we try to build it in the way that we want you to be familiar with it. If you work on different platforms, you come to HUAWEI, you will, at the same time, we try to reduce the cost, because we learn from our experience. We know what the developer went, we know what our clients went. So we try to make App Gallery as friendly for the developer. So we make one platform that can cover everything for you. So for example, if we talk about different platforms, you'll see that they provide you one system to collaborate with, for example, with the services, and you have to go to another platform to collaborate with different services. For example, if you do testing for application, you have to go to third platform. App Gallery system is called App Gallery Connect. This will be the profile that where you will register your account. I'll show you how to register the account. And here in this App Gallery account, you will have the full scenario of development. So on the same channel, in the same platform, you will be able to create your applications. You will be able to do the testing. You are able to do also the release, all the scenario, all in one platform. This is very good, and HUAWEI has invested a lot of money on it for the developers, that they can be more and more collaborate with this App Gallery system. So this is also one of the part, as I told you, where we spent a lot of investment on it, actually, that we want that the platform have to be everything in one platform, because most of us now, even me as developers, when we go to the working with different platforms, we are suffering from testing. I have to test in one platform. I have to, use another service, enable it from another platform. So this will be cost time, cost money. I have to integrate with a lot of things, but an App Gallery is reducing all this. So you have everything in one platform. This is one of the points that we rely on it as a developer, from the developer side technical view, from the client also. When you are a developer, for example, in future work in the company or in your company, imagine you have everything in one place. So even your analyzing will be much better. Of course, this is App Gallery is facing has inside App Gallery, only that's App Gallery Connect will offer you a service. It's like more than 45 services that you can use them. The good things here for you as big enough people to go to App Gallery when this is good, that App Gallery right now almost most of the things are free of charge, or they will charge pay as they go. Or also there is a lot of program support to the student, to the startup, that they can use App Gallery for a lot of the good services. Also, when I will come to explain about the account on App Gallery, anyone can make a developer account right now. It's free of charge. You don't need to pay anything. And this is also an opportunity for you to discover. Maybe you will change. As I told you, for me, when I was totally different part of going to the networking, when I change here, I like it. And then I'm now really focusing on this part. Of course, I will now show you what kind of services that we are talking about. I promise that I will also explain that it's not from the people who already know what's in services. So in the mobile, usually when we have application, you can use the application, for example, just build any application. Let's say we take example about Android application. And the mobiles and the procedure of the developing of the application. For example, if I would like to have one application and I would like to install it on devices, and I would like to count how this application will work. I would like to check, does application crashing? Does this application continue the payment? Does this application, for example, I'm able to do testing? For example, I am working a team. I don't want to release it. I would like to only release it for specific people. So this is I need such things, but if I would like to do everything by myself, I will need a lot of money. I will need a lot of investment. I will need a lot of time. So that's why I'm looking now for companies who provide such services. So your application at the first time, you need a service to know what's application, because I know most of you maybe would like to know what's the difference between mobile services and then in the kids or HMS services. So here in App Gallery, So here App Gallery, you see, for example, here is the one of the services that you can use inside App Gallery. So for example, if we want your application to be linked, I have application, I would like to link to another application, to another platform, you can use app linking services. We have, for example, you know that when you log in, you get SMS, right? To do authorization. So we have author services that you can provide you such information. If you would like to do configuration, you do, for example, cloud debugging, you do the contact API messaging. This is the kind of services that App Gallery Connect can provide it to you. So this is what when we talk about App Gallery Connect services, we're talking about the services that you're going to use with your application. Most of these services are easy to integrate. The code, it's really, I also will have a session show you how the code looks like. I mean, from the documentation, friendly. Even you start to read from the documentation, you will find that it's telling you step by step how to do it. You don't need to have really hard or very expert background of development. So anyone, you just try and you will see that it can be done. This is about the mobile in general. I will have here a video. Can explain to you more about actually, which is how mobile service.
When a new application is launched in the App Store, you hope the target users will first find it, install it, and then keep using it. You also hope that the app's features, coupled with diverse advertising, will bring you considerable revenue. All of this can be overwhelming, but the Huawei HMS Core will make it so much easier. HMS Core is a hub for all the open capabilities of Huawei mobile services. It has all the basic tools you need for efficient application development, rapid user growth, and flexible monetization. HMS Core lets global developers enhance their capabilities in 3 fields: development, growth, and monetization. HMS Core has a host of services, including Account Kit, Location Kit, ML Kit, and Scan Kit, to help you efficiently build high-quality and low-cost applications. Push Kit, Analytics Kit, and Dynamic Tag Manager can help increase the user base and user engagement of your applications. Ads Kit, in-app purchases, and Wallet Kit help you monetize applications through multiple channels. So, is accessing HMS Core a difficult process? Quite the opposite. Accessing HMS Core is a simple process. An SDK integration can be completed by one person in as little as 3 working days. To make this even easier, the Huawei Developers website has all sorts of API references, development guides, sample code, and video guides. You can also get hands-on experience in coding and expert guidance from one of our 7 DigiX labs, or get in touch with our developer technical support engineers worldwide. The services provided by HMS Core fully comply with international security and privacy standards, making your application development easier than ever. This way, you can focus on coming up with innovative products, technologies, and popular applications. Huawei has made the basic capabilities of HMS Core available to developers worldwide, because when it comes down to it, we are all dedicated to creating a better digital life for Huawei's device users across the globe.
I believe it's going to be, right? Give you a good idea about what's going to be. Now, as I'm going now to move to the next stage of the, for example, now from the background of the application, you know that we need services. But now, for me as a consumer, how I will see the application, right? So, for example, let's say you would like to have application with map. From where you get a map? You cannot, for example, you buy photos from satellite from company and then you put your own map. You need a lot of things. So HUAWEI, they try to also invest in this one. So they have a kit. Now we talk about HMS mobile services. Here we are talking about the kits. We call them kits. So for example, there is a camera kit, there's a video kit, there is awareness kit, there's a vibe kit, which is storage kit. There is also a push kit and so on. So this kit can help you to be communicating, for example, with the consumer. Also, the consumer can be communicating with the application. So I've already support about 7 areas of the kits, which is like in the good scenario of the problem. So you can see here from the area, for example, we talk about app services. We talk, for example, this is trying when you log into the system, you have to use account kit, so you can save the information and you log in from the password and so on. So this is account kit. We have also the analytics kit, which is like very popular to use because when you have a lot of consumers in the future, you would like to know how this consumer are acting, how to know, for example, in which specific activity in your app they are like more interesting, how much they are paying, how much they are getting. So this is the analytics kit and so on. We have here also the drive kit, which is like you have also information from our college. We will explain to you about it. And also we have health kit as well, which is like can provide, for example, health kit, which is like a wearable that I'm now wearing. It can collect information of my health kit, and for you, you can configure this health kit inside your application to collect, for example, this data, and then you build your own idea. How, for example, if we can give ideas how from working from home, this health kit like can help. This awareness kit. Awareness kit like can support you because awareness kit can also be connected to the sensors of the devices. If we have people here from physics session or scientists or they're working on this, they will know what I'm talking about. So this is the what we talk about like HMS mobile service. That means this is that we provide you a services, or we provide you a packaging of like kits for the mobile that, for example, able to help you to communicate with the consumers and also help you to analyze your applications. So you can see that, for example, also still we have in media, you have audio kit, we have video kit, which, for example, in video kit, you would like to have application can take a photo and make a filters on the photo. You don't need to build a lot of filters. You just integrate with this like in a video kit or like an image kit, and then you will have it directly. And so on. So this is when you're talking about HUAWEI mobile services. So now you have App Gallery Connect, where you provide your services to your application in the background, and also you have the HMS core, which help you to improve your user experience, because this kit can be communicated and used by consumers. Okay. And also we have a push kit, which is, for example, now most of you, when you are trying to install application or even daily, you are getting a lot of notification, right? So this notification run by push kit, which is like we are pushing you as a developer, you are pushing the information to your consumers. Of course, you can decide what is this consumer is like living in which country, which is the group, what is and so on. So you can also use such kits. So this is when if anyone asks you about HMS now, I think on App Gallery, I hope that you will have idea what is it. Let's move also now. Let's talk about how I become a developer there. Like how I will register myself. As I hope that each team that already have account here, because this is even if you don't have account, we're going to help you. There's no problem, but this will be easier for you, so they can log into our system and discover it. The registration steps is done by only 4 steps. You don't need to do a lot. First of all, you have to get HUAWEI ID as like normal ID, and then you just like when you register your HUAWEI ID, then you will able to be a developer. Register account. You continue your account to be a developer account. As I told you, I promise you that this will be a free of charge account. You need just to put your data, and then after you takes only 1 to 2 working days. Usually 1 day. Right now we are like ready to last report that we are mostly done by the first day, and then only 1 day you will have your account is ready to use like App Gallery to log inside the App Gallery platform, and you will start to create application. You will do it, I think, today. Maybe you will already if you will have the time, or tomorrow. You will already, if you have account, you will join to App Gallery. Please come us to ask if you need any further information, how it works. Maybe your account has problem and so on. So we can help you. We can even help you to start to create your first project, your first application. So this is the steps of registration. I also will show you a QR code where you could get the page of registration, and also use the chance that we are here with you, so we can help you how to do registration. As I told you, there's only 4 steps. You just like log in, put your data, which is mobile or email, it's up to you, and then you have to confirm the HUAWEI ID, and then you have to do the registration as a developer, and then you will have your HUAWEI active in 1 to 2 days, working days. So this is about the registration. This is the video shows you how to do the registration. Okay.
Step 1.
Of course,
Click
the graphic is
register in the
changing.
upper
So
right
just
corner
like the
to go
data
to
is
the
the same.
registration page. Step 2. You can register a Huawei ID with your email or mobile phone number. Step 3. Click Login to log your Huawei ID. Then click Console to join Huawei Developer in the upper right corner to go to the identity verification page. You can choose company identity verification or individual identity verification. Huawei Developer will complete the review within 1 to 2 working days. An email notification will be sent to the email address provided in the contact information once the review is completed. You can also check the results in the notice banner at the top of the console page. Congratulations! By completing all the preceding steps, you are now a member of Huawei Developer. Next, we will show you how to connect to the app gallery. Step.
Okay, so this is like, as a sort for the developer, for how to do the registration on the developer. So I will ask you, how many of you already did this, have accounts? Okay, good, we have some members, but you can try. I will show you the scan. You can do the scan code and use the chance because it's free. You can log in and it will not affect you because you will be like as a developer there, and then you just discover the system. Maybe you will have one application which already released there. So now we are talking also, okay, I have account now. I know what kind of services, I know what HMS, but how I start, how I build how I do the integration, how I make application, how I should register this application, how I also provide you the full scenarios of the development, as I mentioned. And here also they provide you a wide range of tools that you can use. Because we have different platforms, we have different language codes, and we have different tools to use, right? So does this our tools, our system can be communicate with these different tools? Yes, we are able to communicate with wide range. We are talking about Android Studio, React Native, we are talking about JavaScript, we are talking about Kotlin, we are talking about different the rest of the codes. This is like we call it usually also cross platforms, which is when you go to for documentation, you will find a tab called cross platforms, and you will see what kind of language that we are supporting. But we are supporting very wide range, which is the most important, the popular course that we are supporting. Also, from the requirement of the hardware, you see that we start from area requirement, which is like the NY3, which is like the software environment of the mobile system in our devices. For example, in GLS devices, you say Android, the name of the UI. Here we have the UI. Of course, we are supporting wide range of software, and this is like in the stage you have to keep in your mind. So the first idea of development, you have to see if you have all this requirement. For example, you have a tool to develop, you have the hardware, which is the mobile phone to do the testing, you have the you already a member of up there. You can connect and create your first application, and then of course you have to do this connection between your device. We will help you also. We also create application for you, and then we will try to explain how this application will work. So you will not need to do everything in 2 days because, for example, some steps we can just skip them. Of course, about the configuration, how to do with your computer. Is also we have a lot of documentation explaining how to do it, and also when you have if you don't know how to do it, we will help you how to manage how to do the configuration. But as I told you, we already create applications, which is a good startup application, so you can scale this for you to make it easy. And also we have the stages. This is like, as we explained, that we already know that about this stage 1. We already, let's say that we already know that we are already developers here. We have account. And now for the stage 2, we already meet this requirement. For you, for example, you don't need to go to the testing and releasing, but for you, for example, in the future, if you would like to communicate, you have to also know that first stage after the registration, after you finish the developing and integration, if you would like to go live to put your application up gallery, we have a team testing. They test your application if it meets the user experience. If it's all looks good, it's good. It doesn't from the policy side, everything is fine. And then we release the application in app gallery. From your side, we will for example, we choose maybe your application already will be released. because as I told you, we are looking for some good application from your side. Also, like this is like the general idea of the development, how it will be. And here that when I talk about the documentation, we have wide range of documentation in online sites, so you can just log in there, you can read. So you can see that we have here, for example, some tabs here. You could move from the overview in general, move to different tab, to guideline, guide you from zero. I would like to know how to do it step by step. I'm pretty sure all of you are going to use this documentation when you start to do development, because it's very important. It will also, is like, you know, it's not documentation to show you how to, but also to scale up yourself, so you can learn as well. You can learn, even if you're not, maybe you will not do it, but you will learn something. So I recommend you to go through it. It can explain many things to you. And here we have as I told you, the registration. If for a client or also for you, we have a channel to support. Okay, so for example, you are coming to us and say that, okay, I'm facing issues, I'm like, I don't know. So how are we also support, beside the documentation, we have a lot of channel to support. We have, for example, GitHub channel to show you. We have a YouTube channel when we put our training videos. We have our own platforms training video to our services. We have the Stack cover as well, and we have also developer forum when the people also, you can, for example, raise your question, raise your idea, raise your suggestion, raise your everything you can raise there. And then we have the technical support, which you can make a ticket with us, you can contact us by email and so on. So this is that how we can support the developers who join the system. And here I promised you that this is the code. So if you want, this is the second code from my side. We can directly give it to you to the register page where you can register your account. So you can register account. You can even now you can just start to register your account. As it takes only 3 to 5 to 4 steps. And then you will able to register your account to the other developers. Okay. If anyone will have problems with this registration, just please contact one of us who will going to be supporting your side, so we can help you to make the registration. Okay. So before I move to the next step, because now what I'm talking like mostly is about mobile application. We have also I heard that there is a student also in the here which they are also would like to maybe develop a wearable applications, right? How many people here they are already familiar with wearable applications? It's good that you, for example, why? Because you will learn something here today. Even you don't need to, for example, to have the result, but try to learn something. Because I told you, for me also it was new when they introduced. Yeah, well, I don't know anything, so I had to learn. Where I learned by HUAWEI platform. Nobody like give us any information how to do. I just go to the documentation. I have my the tools. I have the devices. I try to change the configuration, and then I scale up myself. So you can also do the same, and you can just maybe become a developer for wearable. Also, you can also use this system because your challenge maybe I am working from home. I have a developer. I have a wearable, and I can maybe build application to my wearable. Also could be a good idea, for example, for your projects. So you could build, for example, how my wearable can help me. My wearable device, how can help me when I work from home. And so this is a small video to show you in general about HUAWEI devices, okay? HUAWEI service, because we don't have only HTML and HTML. We have, beside that, we have a huge amount of services inside our devices.
Yes.
Hey, stop.
You Drysdale? Call me Ransom.
Celia, what's the weather in Paris tomorrow?
The weather in Paris will be mostly sunny.
Okay, so this is what I want to show you also to say here. That you see, for example, all these services that we showed you started from ideas. And just people say, okay, I have an idea what we want, how we can improve our life. It's based on, for example, realizing all the system, how it will be like, for example, in the pandemic, just happened as fast. We don't know. We are not ready for it. We are not prepared for maybe if we have application to detect, we have application to help us to work from home, we have application to have good ideas, maybe to support us a lot. So here, when I talk about this service, just start from ideas. So maybe your ideas can be also incorporated in the future. Would be really, so don't just say it. Don't like keep it inside and say maybe it's not work. No, with HUAWEI, everything is possible. Before I move to the next topic, I think I probably have time, right? Yeah, I think I have time. I was like here just to give you a brief. I don't want to go in details, but of course, if you want to go to ask me or anything in details, I'm here for 2 days. And also, if there's a card, you can text me, you can text Anil or Miguel. All of us, we can support. If you have any questions, I'll run to the wearable as well. So this is new things. You might, I'm not going to say about the new things because we're using a harmony system. Which is like totally not fully new, but is, let's say it's more open, more clear, let's say, and it's fresh. So for you, for example, when you start to learn this one, when it's fresh, you can scale and go on with the same system. That basically, the most important you have to know that, okay, I'm developing two apps, I'm developing two wearables. So what kind of wearable and how we have? We have two series of wearable. We have something called smart wearable, and we have a series which is light wearable. So for example, here what I'm wearing is smart wearable. When I have more powerful, and you see, for example, from the smart wearable, it can support the Bluetooth, GPS, Wi-Fi, and also eSIM card. And also it can support two code of languages, JavaScript and Java. Any one of you already familiar with JavaScript? Good. And Java, C++. Okay, good. So you can maybe you'll be able to develop application. When you talk about JavaScript, I can tell you that even if you have zero knowledge, now if you have zero knowledge about the coding, you'll be able to develop application with JavaScript because you just communicate with the machine. It's not something difficult. If, for example, I would like to put a photo, I would just say photo, where is it? How? Because we have documentation show you. So it's guide you one by one. I am, for example, when I try to use this one, I learned JavaScript from here. I have no idea what's JavaScript. I just learned it from this platform. So you can scale. I'm still learning as well. So you can scale up yourself to try to do application with wearable and learn the new code language because in our future there's a lot of coding will be integrated, which already now is integrated, but in the future will be more and more. And then we have the light wearable. The light wearable, which is the capability of the hardware, it's a little bit less. So it can be affordable for different people. So for example, here I have HUAWEI wearable, which is light wearable, but also you can build application for it. So this is the difference between two series of the device. So for example, when you would like to build application, you have to decide if it's going to be light wearable or smart wearable. But the good news, you also can build application for the same application, the same platform, the same code, and for one publish for totally more than one device. I mean, more than one type of device. For example, you can make application. The same application can go to the light wearable. The same application can go to the smart wearable. But you have to keep in your mind that because you are going to with less to more to the highest, you also should your code should meet the requirement of both devices. Which I mean, if you, for example, use API doesn't work or use special code that doesn't work on light wearable, so you have to reduce your development to be make the light wearable and smart wearable at the same time. This is about the device capability. Now, how I can the communication is very important because how this device or application will be communicate with the cloud or with the mobile. So we are talking about if we talk about smart wearable, Smart wearable has two phases of development. So for example, you can develop application in Android application, or for example, you can develop Android application and you make this application communicate with the watch. Or we call this is they call like a wearable, distributed wearable API. Or if you say, no, I would like to build a standalone application which only communicate with the internet or only communicate inside the watch. I don't want to be connected. You can build such applications. So we have two phases of the development stage. You can go, for example, standalone application, or you make your wearable to communicate with the mobile phone. Communicate with the mobile phone, of course, going to be a lot of. Huawei already has improved one of its own Huawei protocol, which is inside the wearable engine, we call it, and this is like can help you to communicate between the device as Android and wearable. So this is to for example transfer information. So for example, I could say that one of example just come to my mind right now. We don't, for example, you have invitations and we send this kind of code invitation to the mobile, and you can build application to get this image to show it here as, for example, as scan code on the wearable. So you can see that from here I have like the code to the invitation. So it's easy for me. I don't need to go back my phone or something. I can do it from the wearable and so on. So this is the ideas of the applications. And how about the development? The development will be the same stages. It's not different. Only that maybe you're going to use different tools here. Which I mean by different tools. For example, when you are trying to use Android application, of course, you should have Android Studio. You currently have to get this CPU platform, which is called Deep Ecosystem. Actually, it's when developers, when they try to build it, they try to make it also familiar for you. So anyone will download this tool. If you already work with another different tools, for example, talking about Android Studio, you will see that this is very familiar to them, because it's not something difficult. It's just the same, but it's different. It's more powerful, more open. And the good things in Eco, you can, as I told you, you can develop one application to many devices. So you can make, for example, one bar of a code. You can separate this code by one. I mean, the same code, you write it to the wearable, you write it to the mobile, you write it to the car system, you write it to the AI system. So you can one part of the code can be split to many devices. So you can imagine that you, as a working developer, you don't need to build your application to mobile, and then you have to build your application to wearable, and then you have to repeat your application to different devices. Here, it can give you the whole ability to build the whole scenario all from one code, and you can separate it to different devices. I don't think that you need, as already I told you that, for example, here you have to go to the registration. Of course, you already have it if you already done it. You don't need to read it again, because I told you when you have the global account, you will be able to log into all the system. And also the good thing is that this system will be the same tool, the same upgrade system, upgrade connection. You don't need to change or to go to another platform, the same platform. Of course, you have to decide what I'm going to do is this terrible, so I need to work with Wear Engine SDK, or I would like to build a standalone application as I explained it, just application with watch communicate or communicate with the internet. And of course, you have to do the UI coding, and the testing and release is the same stage. So we don't have something we do here for the wearable as well. The tools that you need to use, as I told you, Android Studio, maybe you are already familiar with it. Deep Eco Studio, we can also help you to how to install it, and also we help you how to do the configuration. There is a lot of documentation explain this to you, and also show how to do. Also, you can come to us directly to show you how it looks. Don't feel shy. We are here friendly. We would like to challenge ourselves. Also, we are just to enjoy. The most important, we are learning something. And the rest of the tools you have to, for example, help. It depends on your requirement. If you need it, you have to install it. Deep Eco Studio Assist, you need it only when you develop to light wearable, because you need to connect this light wearable. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Wi-Fi, so you cannot connect to the computer. You have to debugging, connect through mobile, which there is a device application called Deep Eco Studio, which help you to connect the wearable to your computer, so you'll be able to test your application directly. And then you have to be familiar with HMS code. Right now, we don't support many for the devices, but in future we'll have a lot. This is the same for the documentation. We want to use the same things. We don't want to go for different documentation. So the good that also the same. You have the same features if you are going to be familiar with HMS core documentation. For wearable mobile, for wearable, it will be the same. Anyone have a question? Because I see that maybe I'm going to be really boring here. You can help me to rise up any question or anything you want to ask. It's time for questions. Anyone has any idea or any questions, any suggestion, any feedback, any story, anything you already heard about us? Yes.
It's about the technical aspect. As we know, you asked how many people has the experience in C++ or JavaScript, but most of us, we don't have too much experience in programming. So how long does it take to get us to help us in developing an app from zero to have an app?
And this event or in general?
This event.
This event?
Yeah, we're doing this.
And this event, it will be like I told you, we have already started up application for you. Then, for example, you can just, because it's a challenge, you know, this is the idea. This is going to be your challenge. How you can do this if you have zero knowledge, for example. I cannot say, for example, maybe 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. I cannot tell this, but this will be the challenge. If you're able to do it with 2 days, so you already do it. Even if you cannot do it, you already tried. Because the idea here is they're not only expecting the results, they're expecting that you are already familiar with it. You know what's your start point. So for example, if you go like to check how the documentation or how I will do it, of course maybe you will manage to do it with 1 day. We have a lot of people with zero knowledge, they did it with 1 day as a basic application. We are not expecting like an application to be very super application. If you like if you would like to go further, you will do more things in the application. This will be really great for us because we can, because I told you, as Hiroshi said, we are looking also for ideas. So this will be good. But if you don't know nothing, it doesn't mean that this event is not belong to you. No, you will learn. If you would like to challenge yourself, learn something. This will be helpful for you. So don't care about the results. Care about what you learn.
Thank you.
Don't think about it.
Right.
Anyone has more questions or anything? Okay, I think I speak a lot. And now I'll introduce my friend, Miguel. He came from Spain. He will give you some information about gaming. Gaming industry is very important. I think you also in the future artistic idea about it. It's really important. You can check what will be. Yes. You have your presentation.
Yeah, it's on the one box. Okay, hello everyone. Well, I'm Miguel. Yeah, like they said, I come from Spain, and well, today is going to be a quite different talk. No, I come from a game development background, no, and right now I'm the game technical director at HUAWEI. I would like to know if there's some game developers here, somebody that has ever tried or wants to make his first game. Anyone that plays video games?
I doesn't know much about it. I would like to learn.
Okay. Okay. And
So
players?
guys, I told you you can learn. I think you can learn from it. You can try.
Well, that's the good thing. No, the thing I'm gonna tell you is, well, how can you work in this game industry? No, I'm gonna tell you from my experience. No, in smaller and big companies, what kind of profiles, what kind of people work together in a game, because sometimes we only see like the final product, no, but we don't see how it's done. No? So that's going to be one of the things I hope you like, know that, and you get something interesting. So yeah. Okay, the first question, or the second question, because I already made one, was going to be if somebody knew about this game. But I don't see too many players. Do you know? Yeah. San Andreas. Okay. Okay. So, well, this was how to find your way, no, And this was just an image I thought it represent this, how to get around. There are so many things in game development. You have small studios. Sometimes there's even like one person made a huge game with millions of downloads. And sometimes you have big games like this that are normally 5-year development, 200 people just for the developing, and probably around another 400 with all the marketing, business, legal, and everything. So it's the same budget as a Marvel movie will have, okay? So imagine the size of it, and not just that. Marvel movies, even they are quite long, normally they are what, 2-3 hours, 2.5, something like that. Games have up to 70, up to 100 hours of gameplay. Okay, so the amount of things, the amount of models, levels, enemies, props, everything that you can do is huge. So that's a lot of work. And I think that will be interesting. This is going to be from my point of view, right? So I think this is important because I'm going to tell you about how I started my own company. You know, I had a small company. This was called Evil Mind Entertainment. Okay, this was the first time we went to a conference. And well, at that point we were what? Like 7 people, I think. We got up to 16. Okay, but the funny thing and why I think this is interesting is because this company started in one weekend like this. Okay, we present, only 3 of us, we present what's called Game Jam. That is actually a hackathon for games that they do around the world. We got the game together and we were like, okay, we did something nice in a weekend. And then we did another one and we got a prize for that for Nintendo. And then we did another one and we did another one. So at the end, we made 13 different titles during the span of 8 years. So I just put here some of the things we did. Like you can see, we did a bit of everything. We did strategy, we do games that were more about storytelling, or we did puzzle games. No, and finally, this was like our best hit and the one that actually killed the company. So it's a sad story because we got the license to make the game for Pitbull. I don't know if you know this singer, rap singer from Miami, right? And we started making this game and it was like a huge thing with a huge budget, but then it all went wrong and it just killed the company. So sad story at the end, but the 8 beginning years were really good. So what I want to tell you is what it involves to do that. No, and the fun part for me, no, the interesting part for me is that when you get into game development, you get so many different people together. No, you get so many different ideas, you get so many jobs. And by jobs, I mean like artist jobs. No, you have, and you will see, no, like put there a lot of people, but you're gonna see like who is in charge of what. No, and that's what I'm trying to explain today. So here is like the huge machine now where you have production, design, translations, everything. No, I will go just a bit one by one. So normally you have a producer, it's like the orchestra director. No, you need a lot of people that normally they work different, they think different, they do things different. It's not the same somebody that is a developer, that somebody that is an artist. They have different times, they have different goals, they see the things differently. So you need to get all of them together, and this is something that a producer does. So maybe you're not into games, but you're into complex systems and you like to solve puzzles. And this is actually like a huge puzzle, how I'm gonna develop and manage a project that is gonna take months normally, or even years, no? And how do I make it so it at the end is a fun game, no? And that's the complicated thing, no? So when we talk about fun, is like what makes a game fun, no? Well, this is the thing I could talk for hours. Like one of the most typical game is the trivia game, no? You have trivia and they do questions and you get prizes, no? These little color things, and that's supposed to be a game. But if we take out the pieces, the colors, it's just questions. So it's just a test. So you can see like how a small difference comes from doing something fun that is actually not fun. Trivia is a test that you give awards, actually, you know? So this person is the one in charge of finding the game. What is fun? Depends on what you like. You might like sports. So maybe playing some simulation like football or driving is nice for you. For you, maybe fun is to communicate with others or creating something. You have Minecraft, no, where you can build cities, or you have people that they like to grow their own farms. Okay, so this is the person that is going to develop that kind of thing, who is going to say, what are the goals, what are the means, the tools that the user is going to use to have fun. Okay, finally, we'll have, well, programmers at the end, developers that will work in Unity. No, that's pretty much the most popular game engine in mobile development. At least for console, you have Unreal Engine. I don't know if you've seen it, like the last Matrix movie was done with this Unreal Engine movie. So I think that's something interesting, no? But they put together all the technology, they do all the classes. So this is, I mean, a more technical part. Or finally, you have artists, no? And normally here I divide it into two kind of different artists, actually, no? It's the 2D, that are people that normally like find the idea, the tones, they do all these drafts and sketches of how it should look. And then it's finally the people that they are more like sculptors, no? They do models in 3D. So you have these people that at the end are the ones that are gonna, well, create your world from what you've thought, no? From your original idea. And finally, another important and really important part is audio. Okay, I don't know if you've seen this experiment where they will take people into a movie, no, into the cinema, and they will put off the image, but the people could still hear the movie and nobody will move because they are hearing and they will still connect it. But if they do the opposite and they take the sound but they leave the image, people just start talking and forget about the movie because they get like, they're not engaged anymore. So audio is really important in games because it's the one that is going to make you feel things real. If it doesn't sound right, you're not going to believe it. But also if it feels right, no, if you have this kind of soundtrack, you will feel brave or you will feel fear. So it will give emotions, no? And that's an important thing when you're trying to, well, do an experience for anyone, because at the end, a game is just an interactive experience. Okay, and one of the, we were talking about this before, one of the main things, and normally the entry point actually for people is to become a tester. These people are like the dream job for a lot of people. They just go there, sit and play 4 hours, no? So it's like, okay, what you do at home, but I get paid, no? And you can have Doritos and you can do whatever. So it's really a fun thing, no? Or it should be. But the real thing is that, well, first, you don't choose what game you're gonna test. So maybe you like FIFA and you're like playing football, but sometimes you're gonna have to play, I don't know, a horse game, and you don't like anything about horses, or you don't know anything about tennis and you don't want to, no? So you don't get to choose the game. And the thing is, they really have to try everything, no, that a player can do. So if the player goes walking this way or goes walking backward or goes doing this or held in this position or using this sword, no, so they have to repeat and repeat. So it's really exhausting. But it's one of the easiest ways to get into a game company, no, because they need a lot of people for this. They need a lot to test. So the games don't have as much bugs as they normally do. And from there, you will find and start meeting the company, get to know its values and the people. So you normally will scale and become whatever you want. If you want to be a designer or a producer or anything, okay? So this is, I think, like a quite broad thing, no? But then it happens that you need to get this game out, no? And for that, you need to go global, no? I think one of the main things that we try to do when we go to App Gallery is reach as many people as we can, no? And for that, you need to translate it. But that will be like the normal way. You will see like how a game is translated, because you need to put these like special characters, so it's dynamic and everything. But the important thing is not about just translating, but about making sense in different places, no? So that's called localization. So the localizer will change. If there's some joke, might be a local joke that is from here in Sweden, no? They talk about some popular person here, no? But if we take that to Spain, maybe I don't know the guy in Sweden. Doesn't make any sense to me. So the localization will find like a person that does more or less the same trick, the same joke in Spain. So it's also about the cultural thing. No, you need to know different cultures and not just the language, but just also the culture from both countries. I think this is quite important because there's a thing that you see that normally games, if they don't do this, they just perform well in some market, like Western market or Eastern market. No, but actually the game should be fun for anyone. You just need to change it according to your culture. Okay. And for selling this, no, because you've been working for 2 years in a huge game and you've developed everything and it's really fun and it has the best graphics and the best audio, but nobody knows about you. So there's a huge game in PR marketing where you will have to make like a whole campaign that is more or less what we tried to find the other day, you know, when we had the other talk about acquisition, how you get your users. This is going to be more or less the same. How do you find your players? So sometimes you have big budget and you can do things like this, go to Seattle and just hang on a giant Angry Bird in the middle of a giant skyscraper. Or you're gonna have to have some media. No, you're gonna work on social media, you're gonna do posts, you're gonna have your own site, maybe a YouTube channel. So you will have to find the strategy to find your players. But this was all about games. And I know you were here for something else, but I just wanted to give you that briefing. So you will think if maybe you're something that you're interested for the future. But for today, I'm just gonna throw in a few tips. Like I said, my company started in something like this in a weekend that I was working with my colleagues. So for that, I have just few tips I think might be useful. Okay, first thing, well, get to the theme. Now think it thoroughly. Is before starting to do anything, before starting coding, before all the technology, now can be sometimes overwhelming. Just start thinking what it means to you. Now, what it would mean, what would you like? No, what would, if you're thinking about working anywhere in the future, where would you like to work? But also don't think it just about you, think about other people. No, how, I don't know, my parents, my friends, my cousins, no, try to find people that are relatable to you, that you know how they think. No, and that way you will get a few examples that I think you might find helpful, right? And then if you want to do something, first thing is finding a problem. No, normally there's like 2 approaches and none of them is good. When you are an engineer, you find a problem and you start making a solution, but then it becomes all about technology and you don't matter what was that for, but just you're building something cool now with a lot of technology. And then you have marketing people that they don't care about the problem. They'll actually make a new problem that you didn't have and they will sell it to you. And you're like, I didn't have it, well, but I have the solution. And I'm like, okay, so try to find really the problem. What is the thing that you want to solve? No, and focus on that. During this time, no, some of my colleagues already spoke. No, what were the problems that we found? It was a bit about how to get in touch with the rest of the people, how to work in a way that it was efficient, how we could share ideas, how we could share our progress together. No, and also the thing that we, at least, some of us were working at home, and then we feel like disconnected, we feel lonely, we feel like we were not having a really good work-life balance. No, we already thought that before the pandemic. No, so now maybe we found sweet spot where we can handle things better. No, and that will be something that you can probably help with. And finally, I think an important part, no, body and mind health. If you're not healthy, the rest of the things are useless. No, money and whatever is not going to be helpful if you're not healthy. So I think that's also a huge problem. And these are just some ideas I'm throwing, and I'm sure you have a lot of them. But focus on the problem and then get to the solution, okay? Or try to find a solution. And finally, once you find that out, okay, work with the technology. For me, it should be that way around, not start with the technology. I am gonna do all this. Like I said, engineers, we tend to do these kind of things, okay? And finally, start small, okay? Normally, you don't have that much time and it might look like it's gonna be a lot, but my idea or my agendas when I do these kind of things First day, it will be all about setting up, okay, setting up the team, knowing who is going to do what, and installing, registering, everything that is needed. So you don't have any more trouble, no? And also it's going to be helpful since we are going to be here, so we can help you if you have trouble with installations or anything. So today is just about setup, and then you can think your idea, no? And try to get your idea and make, it can be a huge thing, but try to make like the first stop, no? The minimum viable thing, the first gimmick, the first form that you need for that. And just think it so it will just take Saturday for that. Okay, so think you're only gonna work on Saturday. So plan for something that you can develop in a day within your group, okay? Because Sunday normally will be emergency time, okay? Where you're gonna fix things, things are gonna fail apart, or you're gonna find out that there was a lot of ideas that you wanted to add and left outside, and maybe you have time. But try not to make huge things and don't accomplish. Start small, do something that probably is just few hours on Saturday, you can get it done, working, try it, and then Sunday, just improve it, okay? So I hope that was helpful. Like I said, me, my team, we're gonna be here, and we will try to help you on, well, this journey you just started. Thank you for coming. I think you're really brave, and I hope you really have a good time.